And now it's time for Farnsworth's Fables, narrated by Reginald Q. Farnsworth.
Thank you, Frank. This week's fable is The Pied Piper of Hamelin, adapted by yours truly. The story takes place in a small German town called Hamelin. Now, Hamelin, for a while, was a poor little town full of poor little people. There was one resident of Hamelin, however, who was neither poor nor little, Johann Diedrich von Schicklgruber. In fact, he was the richest man in Hamelin, and he made sure people knew it. One year, a particularly dreadful year in fact, Johann Diedrich von Schicklgruber announced that he would be running for mayor.
The way I see it, friends, there's nobody else more qualified than I to be our next mayor. For one thing, I'm devastatingly wealthy. Now, I didn't get to be so wealthy by making bad decisions. Oh, no. Over the years, I've developed an extraordinary business acumen, and I've used that acumen to amass myself a ton of wealth. When elected, I will use that acumen to restore our lovely city of Hamelin to its former glory.
City? I thought we were an autonomous collective.
Shut up.
Thank you. As mayor, I also promise to deal the great menace that has plagued the people of our poor little village for far too long.
Wait, a village? I thought this was a city.
Maybe we're a municipality.
Shut up.
Thank you. Anyway, as I said, when elected, I will fight the great menace that has caused our town's ruin. Children. Every day after school is let out, children run amok throughout the town, and they disturb our places of work with their shouting and running and gallivanting about. This is why our town has become as destitute as it is, friends, not to mention how they keep their parents up late nights with their play and their difficultness. This results in sleep deprivation, which makes those parents poor workers, again resulting in our town's destitution. When elected mayor, I will see to it that the menace of rowdy children is dealt with soundly, and Hamelin will once again be prosperous.
Yay! And so it came to pass that Johann Diedrich von Schicklgruber won the mayoral election by a landslide. That is to say, a landslide had prevented most of his detractors from making it to the polls. But that mattered very little to Johann Diedrich von Schicklgruber, who now sat in his large, warm house, contemplating with his assistant, Franz, how to deliver on the promises he had made.
Come on, you bobblehead, think. How am I supposed to make Hamelin prosper?
Well, you're the one with the business acumen. Why can't you think of anything?
Because running a town is very different from running a business. Besides, I made most of my money by inheriting it from rich uncles who bid it. And I'm all out of uncles. And if that information leaves this room, I swear I...
Don't worry, sir. My lips are sealed. Well, maybe we can't solve the whole make Hamelin prosperous again thing tonight, but we could tackle something else in the meantime, like how you said you'd deal with the children.
Ugh, children. Good God, how I hate children. Even when I was a child, I hated me. Lazy, good-for-nothings, that's all they are. Mommy, buy me this. Daddy, help me carry that. Feed me, bathe me, read me a bedtime story. And what do they give back for all they get? Bubkus. Damn freeloaders. Why don't they get jobs like good upstanding citizens?
Well, they do have to go to school, and then there's...
Shut up, Franz. I've just had an idea. The no good children of this town will get jobs. I'll make it mandatory by law, and any child willfully without a job will be shamed in the town square. Quick, Franz, get a pen and some paper. I've got a law that needs dictating.
Well, I've already got my notebook and pencil here. I could just write down what you say now and transcribe it later.
Fine, fine. Anyway, I, Johann Dietrich von Schicklgruber, in my capacity as the mayor of the hamlet of Hamelin...
Wait, a hamlet? I thought we were a municipality.
Shut up. Do hereby decree that from this day forth all children in Hamelin will be required to work full-time. Those who choose not to shall face a penalty of 48 hours of public shaming in the town square.
Hey, boss, I just thought of something. What if there aren't enough jobs for all the children of Hamelin?
Simple. We have all the adults retire. There will be an interim period for job training, after which every job in town will be held by a child.
Town? I thought we were a hamlet.
Oh, shut up. Say, you have a son, right, Franz?
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's smarter than you are, because effective tomorrow, he's gonna be my new assistant.
Ah, coitus.
And so it was that over the next 2 years, every child in Hamelin who was able to work had a job, and each business thrived more than ever before. Why, the only place in Hamelin to close its doors permanently was the school. There was no use for it now, for there was no one who would, or even could, go to a school. Eventually, the schoolhouse was converted into a coffee shop, but that doesn't really matter in the terms of the story. Anyway, one day in the middle of Hamelin's newfound prosperity, the small town soon found itself flooded with rats. No matter where you looked, rats were afoot.
Rats! If there's anything I hate more than children, it's rats.
At about the same time, a group of traveling musicians arrived in Hamelin, hoping to get a few gigs.
Say, man, you the mayor of this town?
Yes, can't you tell by the sash?
Well, I guess they don't give mayor sashes to just anybody.
Darn right they don't. Now, what is it you want?
We were looking to play a few gigs in your town.
What type of music do you play, then? Waltz, marches, baroque sonatas?
Ah, man, we play jazz.
Jazz? I don't like jazz. Beat it, you filthy bums.
Mayor Schickelgruber, there's rats all over my house.
There's rats in my house, too! They've eaten all my food, and they've locked me out of my own bathroom. I need to go potty!
We can't live with these pests. What should we do?
Say, I think me and my band could help you out with your rat problem.
And how, pray tell, are a bunch of jazz musicians going to rid our town of rats?
Easy. We'll play our music, with me leading on flute, and then we'll lure all the rats down to a boat by the docks. Once they're all in that boat, we'll cut that boat loose and send those rats rolling,
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 rolling on the river.
rolling on the river.
What was that?
Proud Mary?
I don't like it. And I don't like jazz.
Well, which do you hate more, man, jazz or rats?
At the moment, rats. One just bit my ankle.
So you'll let us do our thing?
Yes, just get these vile rodents out of my town.
All right. There is just one more thing, though.
What?
Our fee.
Lousy money grabbing. All right, what's your price?
$250.
$250?
Hey, man, we're in the union. We don't work for anything less than scale.
Fine, just get rid of these rats.
So the band began to play. And the rats became enchanted with their tune. They followed the musicians to the river and were lured into a nearby boat, which the musicians quickly cut loose, sending the rats as far away from Hamelin as a tiny little boat on a tiny little river can take a large mischief of rats. Na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. When the job was done, the musicians went back to the mayor for their pay. But Mayor Schickelgruber proved to be far less appreciative of their services than they had expected.
You expect me to pay you for polluting our town's air with jazz? Beat it, you hippies!
Hey, now, you're forgetting that we helped you get rid of those rats.
I'd rather have the rats. Now be gone from my sight and be gone from my town, you riffraff.
Fine, old man. But you're gonna pay. Just you wait and see.
That evening, in the outskirts of town, with their equipment set up, the musicians began to play another song.
Which one do you think I should bust out for this one? The flute or the tenor sax?
A bigger brain requires a bigger instrument.
Tenor sax it is, then.
And the sound of their music soon reached the town of Hamelin, where the children were all beginning to close shop.
Wow, dig that crazy tune.
Blow, man, blow.
When they heard that hypnotic tune, they all began to head for the outskirts of town. When they had got there, the musicians led them to the next town over, a town where children were allowed to be children, or at least they would have if anybody there were able to have children. Nonetheless, both children and adults were pleased with this new arrangement.
Hello?
Hi, I'm a kid all the way from Hamelin. I followed a bunch of musicians here, and now, if you wouldn't mind terribly, I'd like to live with you. At least until I can get back on my feet and can afford a place of my own.
Greta, come quick. Our prayers have been answered. At last, a child of our very own. You can throw away the cardboard cutout, Liebchen.
The adults of Hamelin, however, were far from pleased. In fact, they were outraged. Hey, how come the coffee shop isn't open? I want coffee right now and I can't have it right now? I'm outraged.
You think you're outraged? My mail hasn't been delivered yet. I'm not expecting anything because I never get mail, but I'm still peeved.
You think you have it bad? I haven't eaten yet because no one at home made me breakfast, and none of the restaurants are open.
What in the world is going on around here? Why is nothing open? Where are all the children? They should be up and working by now. Unless... Oh no. The little bastards, they've run away. I should have known this had happened. You can't trust children to be responsible with anything.
What are we going to do, Mayor? Who do we get to replace them?
I'll figure something out. I'll show those no-good children that we don't need 'em.
But Mayor Schickelgruber never did figure something out, and soon the people of Hamelin left town, heading for a new land filled with new opportunities. A land known as the Roanoke Colony. Huh. No wonder that place didn't last long. And so ends my story. Thank you for letting me into your homes, and I hope you don't mind that I took some of your silverware. Ta-ta!